Just after snowmobiling, we stopped at Smith Maple Crest Farm. This is where they do maple syrup production. They've got 15,000 trees tapped, maple trees tapped around the mountainside here. And it's not like the old tap and bucket anymore. They've got these hoses that connect thousands of trees. It goes to bigger hose, and then eventually they do central collection. But you're driving down these roads, you see all these hoses coming out of these trees. Looks like a network of spider webs. It's very cool. So let's go check out their store. Go inside. You can see right here, this is where they do their maple syrup. Now it takes like 5 gallons of maple sap to make like a pint of maple syrup. Now, don't quote me on those numbers. I have no idea. I just know it's a huge amount of sap to make maple syrup. But this is what they do it in right here. Very, very cool. So, when was this syrup made? Is it made? This is seasonal,
This is from last year.
Okay.
But the thing with maple syrup is that we store it in stainless steel barrels, so it preserves the quality and the flavor. So we at our house we eat syrup that's many years old, and you never would know.
I'm same thing with I have bees. I do honey, and you know I usually sell this year's honey, and I keep the leftovers, and I eat it for years. So you all do meat also, beef?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Pork?
We've gotten there.
What?
We do grass-fed, grass-finished beef, and then I locally source some chicken and some pork, and we have local eggs, and so we kind of try and stay in our lane. We do protein and maple.
Nice.
And so we have enough. We do bacon and eggs. So if you're looking for something to go with your pancakes,
Maple
we have
cream?
pancake mix.
Maple cream.
You got a sample for these guys?
do.
Now on the way up here, we saw something called Melba something. It was like it was like a jam. It was in New York. It said Melba something, like Melba. You know, not you all. You don't do that. It's a New York thing apparently.
Maple cream.
Maple cream.
So what maple cream is it's a spread. There's no dairy in it. Of course, I keep this in the freezer because I keep pulling it out. So this is like what you would put on your toast or your bagels, or we do saltine crackers. You can dip fruit in it when it's room temperature. It's more like a drizzle frosting texture.
That is good.
It is really good.
Very smooth.
If you're looking for a concentrated maple flavor, this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it hits me at the end. The big maple bang.
And it's plenty sweet.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that was delicious.
But that one just about anything.
Lip smacking good.
Some biscuits.
Oh, of course, I'll get on biscuits.
So this vessel in here draws the sap into the sugar house from outside.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So it's under vacuum.
So that's where all the maple goes.
So the sap comes in there, gets pumped into the
All
back,
those lines.
filtered, and then
Vacuum it.
goes into this machine. This is a reverse osmosis. So last weekend the sap was 57 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup. So
I had the number way off a while ago.
it's different every day.
Yeah.
The sap changes every day. So if you took a sap hydrometer, dropped it in, it would have been 1.5 on the brick scale. So you do the Jones 86 rule math, it comes out to 57 gallons to make a gallon of syrup. So what we do is run it through this. So what this is, and they were here to service it today, that's why the floor is wet. What's in here is 6 of these membranes, okay? Tightly wound paper. So what happens is you press the sap through it, through the high pressure pumps in the back, okay? The sugar molecules can't penetrate the paper. So the sugar stays in the middle and the water goes out the paper.
Yeah.
So the water goes out back. I got more storage for water than I do sap. I got 14,000 gallons of water storage here. So we save all the water that comes out of this and use it to wash the evaporator and to wash this machine.
Wow.
So what I do is I squeeze it to 15% on the brick scale, which turns out to be just about 5 to 1. Really, it's like 5.7 gallons of sap to make a gallon of syrup. So you're boiling off 4.7 gallons of water to end up with a gallon of syrup at the end. So this saves a lot of oil, a lot of time, and so basically if you had 14,000 gallons of sap at 1.5%, you're going to end up with about 300 gallons of syrup.
Wow, that's a lot of sap.
So that's a lot of evaporation, or it's a lot of ROing to get rid of the water.
Yeah. That's
But in the old days, you had to boil it.
Yeah, boiled it and boiled it and boiled
This
it.
takes that process.
The machine you've got outside here, what do you
That's the boiler.
That's the
Okay,
boiler.
so still use that? Or?
That's-
Oh yeah,
that's
it goes
the
from here to there.
Oh, okay, so that's the final process.
final
yeah.
process.
I got you. Okay, that makes
It
more
goes
sense.
from here to there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
60% of the water.
Before you had to do it all just
Just boiled it.
keep evaporating.
With the way this setup is now, I can make in an hour what it used to take me a 12-hour day. So if I got up there and fired the evaporator with wood and boiled that raw sap all day, at the end of a day I'd make 40 gallons of syrup. Now I make that in less than an hour.
Oh wow. Yeah.
How many taps do you have? I know that
12,000.
12,000. Okay,
See,
we were guessing at 15,000.
I'm just astounded at
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the number of taps.
To my trees.
Yeah, how many trees are tapped? Yeah.
So
Some
now,
trees are
you
tapped
know,
more than once,
I'm
but-
considered a little guy now
Yeah.
because, well, it's funny. So up in Island Pond, they're tapping 250,000 trees.
Wow.
That's a
Northern.
lot
Yeah.
of trees.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a factory
is-
up there.
All of your syrup sold locally, or do you sell to distributors or anything?
So we go through all the syrup that we produce.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that we don't like the flavor that's not consistent is wholesaled out.
Okay. And
So actually this afternoon I'm going to the wholesaler. I got 5 drums sitting
Okay.
on the truck.
You do an online business too,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Do you have what's your website so people can go?
SmithMapleCrestFarm.com.
SmithMapleCrestFarm.com. Okay. Y'all hear that? Go get you some.
So what makes the colors is bacteria. So
Wow.
as the temperature rises, the days get longer, the more bacteria. So to make dark syrup sometimes, and you really don't want to do this, is to leave the sap sitting overnight, because then the bacteria will get working on it and it'll make your darker color. If you go straight tree to drum, you're going to make light syrup.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the majority of the crop that's made is your amber rich, which is was called medium forever. So it went fancy, medium, dark, and B. Now the state of Vermont wanted to put a flavor descriptor to it, so now we call it golden delicate, amber rich with rich taste, dark robust with dark taste, then extra bold with strong taste.
Huh. But that has nothing to do with the tree or the season. That's the bacteria and the age and how long you wait.
It has, well, the sap's coming out of the tree.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, the day gets longer. Okay, the tap holes have been open that much longer.
Mhm.
So the trees are, okay, another thing has to do with it is right now, most of the sap coming out is coming out of the stem of the tree. When I say the stem of the tree, it's from ground level up, okay? As the ground thaws out, you're gonna start getting more and more sap out of the deeper root system
Really?
of the
Oh.
tree,
Didn't know that.
which is gonna give you your flavor, your color.
Huh. Okay.
And the change in temperature
Oh,
is
look at
what
the difference. Yeah, look at
pumps the syrup.
Right, so if it doesn't freeze, you're not gonna make any syrup. So in other words, you want a freeze thaw.
Freeze
Freeze
thaw.
thaw process, yeah.
So what it does is we freeze thaws, but when it finally No long. It gets warm and stays warm. Like last year, it got to be 80 and 80 in April. It was kind of wild up here.
Yeah.
And that ended the season.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the
Been
difference.
crazy. Season's been crazy.
Huge difference. Yeah.
We should have 10 feet of snow up here.
There's 4 different kinds.
That's the.
So what we had
I
here,
guess.
we had 3 different storms. We got snow, then we got the rain on top of the snow, then we got the snow, the rain on top of the snow, and then the snow and the rain again, which made the snow cover that was holding up here. If it wasn't for the rain, I don't think the snow cover would have held. It made a nice ski glacier base is what it did.
It's very light.
It is, isn't it?
Well, that's
Dill pickle juice.
That's what it looks like.
That is the sorbet of the maple world. So what you're going to do is that you're going to have a little sip of that between each cup of maple syrup.
Yeah. Cleans
And
the
that's going to
palate.
freshen your mouth so that you can tell how sweet and how maple the maple syrup is.
We like some dill pickle juice.
Dill pickle juice is
Ah.
Start with which one?
So pick a
I
row.
want to start
That
with the
would be
lightest
yours.
first. Because if you start with the darkest first, you'll never taste the light.
Oh, yeah.
So what that is that's golden delicate. Golden in color, delicate in maple flavor. So the first thing that you're going to taste is sweet. Oh my goodness, sweet. Then you get a little bit of maple flavor as an after.
So
after
buttery
flavor.
tasting.
So if you're switching, if you use a lot of honey, that would be the substitute.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, do it to some.
Truly, truly wonderful to sweeten plain yogurt, over vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, that'll do it, won't it? All right, next one.
Next one, Amber Rich.
Amber Rich.
Amber in color, rich in flavor. This is what we consider to be traditional pancake syrup. Nice smooth blend between the maple and the sweet. If you had fruit on your pancake, you'd still be able to taste your fruit after you put that syrup on it.
Yeah, I can see
The
that.
next is dark robust. We used to call that B in the industry. This is a reverse of the first. That kind of rhymes.
Reverse the first.
So that is going to be a huge maple up front, and then plenty of sweet to follow.
Wow, see that.
The first time we did this tasting, you know, we've been to many, and it's like, man, taking that. It's
Huge difference.
This is really nice.
Great on oatmeal.
So the last grade is very strong, very dark. That's what we make the last day that we feel it is still good consumable syrup.
So you generally make this one day out of it. Because the next day the season's over.
So as long as it buds on
Very
the
strong.
tree,
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Totally different.
Oh, wow.
That is totally different.
Super bold. Super. What was the word you used for it?
Not feminine.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah. Well, on your board there, what's the adjective for this?
Strong taste. Strong taste.
Strong. Yeah, definitely a strong taste.
Strong taste. Yep.
Like-
Wow.
You want something to highlight, put maple in, like say you wanted to jazz up a drink. Pour
Yeah.
some of that in.
Yeah. They're maple old fashioned.
We had
Heavy maple.
my wife and my son here and his girlfriend like bourbon, and he was explaining that the taste of this one bourbon
Oh, yeah.
had a feminine taste. I'm not sure if that's a good description for bourbon.
It was floral. It was nutty. And I'm like,
Floral,
that's
nutty,
not a
and
masculine
floral.
flavor. It was feminine.
I did have a guy that was buying 5-gallon pails from down your way that was making moonshine with it, but I don't
Oh,
But he
maple
passed
moonshine.
on, yeah.
Oh. So now she has to decide which. Now that you know which one you want, which one you want.
You can make it as complicated
You
as
sure can.
possible. The first question is, do you like the flavor of maple syrup?
I love it.
So
And the other
darker
question
syrups.
is, what are you going to do with the syrup? Say, for me, I like the extra bold because I put it in everything that I like. You know, like oatmeal and anything that I'm
Probably
thinking
like
I
honey.
want to
You
put
just probably
maple
use honey a
on.
lot.
Oh yeah, everything. Yeah. chicken.
If you
and-
make baked beans and you're going to use it in baking like breads and things like that, and you want a maple flavor come through, you would use the darker two. And so either the dark robust or the very strong. The first two are good for table syrup. They are good. They're all good. If you didn't know what you were eating, you'd still think that they were all really great.
They were all good.
Or the traditional pancakes, or vanilla ice cream.
So what you gonna get?
I think I'm gonna stick with that.
Which one's this? Which one's that? Which one'd you
That
pick?
was the third.
The third one. Okay. Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, this is the fourth one or the third one?
That's the third one.
These are the third ones. Okay.
The next two, the darkest.
Yeah. That was delicious.
That's our best seller.
I want to taste the dark.
Yeah. That was good.